The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It is a Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, and the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We got the full cast and crew ready to rock with Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, and we've got Chris Beam, as always, in the back. Still the roast of the week. The roast of the week. Still the
funeral
thing.
service.
You didn't bring your jewelry to say it with your chest today. I thought you were going to retaliate against Beamer's roast earlier in the week.
No roast.
You said you were bringing the jewelry.
Nah, I can't bring that jewelry in this building.
That's
a flex.
See, and it's also fair too.
It's a flex.
I went and got breakfast, not but
Seth
10,
Rollins
10
laugh.
15 minutes ago. Went in and got breakfast, was kind of walking around. You know how many side eyes I got from officials in the training table because of this? Because of what I'm wearing.
Oh, they think it's eagle.
They think it's green and an eagle. For those that don't know, go Mean Green. This is the University of North Texas. I would never in a million years wear anything to do with the filthy Eagles.
Someone
Ever.
said that on YouTube too. I think you wore that same hat.
Yeah.
Is there an Eagles hat, Kyle?
Heck no, absolutely not.
And North Texas is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they are sponsored. We went to an event yesterday where the Cowboys sponsored a North Texas event. So just so you know, not Eagles, I hate them. So I just let it be very, very clear. And hopefully some officials, because I guarantee there were some looks, it's like, oh, I'm going to talk to Derek about this one.
No.
Like I guarantee it's going to happen. Derek's going to be like, yeah, somebody thought it was an Eagles hat. I'm like, no, it's not. It is not an Eagles hat.
And this message is especially for those that don't live in Texas and don't really know
the
about
brands.
UNT and Mean Green. So yeah, there's someone up in Philadelphia right now that's like, oh yeah,
he's on a Cowboys podcast. No. If they win tomorrow, they go to 5-1 for the first time since like 1967.
You're a sleeper agent for the Eagles, apparently.
Not at all. Not even close. They couldn't pay me enough money to get there, even with the triplets.
I like that energy.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some news and notes here on this Friday, Pat. Lots to get going into this matchup against the Detroit Lions.
Indeed. You want the bad news or the good news first?
Bad news, always.
Bad news is that neither Eric Kendricks nor Nick Vigil have practiced yet this week. Both were DNP, did not participate again on Thursday, so the level of concern with that linebacker depth grows as the week progresses.
Two linebackers.
And one of them being Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
Your
linebacker.
Yeah, your linebacker.
Who is your backup
The
green
linebacker.
dot?
It's Nick Vigil, and then it goes to Malik Hooker. But to that point,
Get ready, Malik.
You're losing
Eric Kendricks.
losing Eric Kendricks, and then the backup green dot, and then it would go to break glass in case of emergency green dot, which would be Malik Hooker. So let's see if either Nick Vigil or Eric Kendricks practices today. Let's see what their game designations are: questionable versus doubtful, if they have one at all. So we'll see. Something to keep an eye on, but I have some concern there, obviously.
Yeah. After 2 days, yeah.
Yeah, after 2 days. Zach Martin, he rested on Wednesday. He showed up on the injury report yesterday with a back issue. He was doing rehab work with Britt Brown. I'm told there's not really any concern there, but I would keep an eye on that in the realm of what's going on with the offensive line. And, Tyler Guyton went down, and I'll get to him in a second, and just how they had to shuffle in Pittsburgh and things like that. So keep an eye on Zach Martin. He should be good to go, but fingers crossed that that's true. Yeah. Marquise Bell returned to practice from an illness that has apparently been transferred to Trayvon Diggs, because Trayvon Diggs was absent yesterday, but not because of the ankle, but because of the illness. Yeah. And it's the time of the year where the bug starts to kind of go around the locker room.
Yep.
So the good news is, if you want to spin it this way, which you kind of should, is that Marquise missed only one practice with the illness. So if it's the same bug that Trayvon has, seems like a short-term deal, and we're talking about this on a Friday morning, Trayvon has time to, get better, get hydrated, and get on the field for Sunday. So keep an eye on.
We'll see you Sunday, Trayvon. You'll need to come around here and get everybody else
stay away and just
You're fine. We'll see you Sunday.
Stay away and get better. Micah Parsons, now we're kind of shifting to the more positive news. Micah Parsons is out of his boot. He's off of his scooter. He was back on the sideline with the rehab group, albeit. Britt Brown, he's doing some work, still has a pronounced limp, man. I don't see it. He didn't practice yesterday, obviously, but even if he did limited work today, I still don't see him taking the field on Sunday based on the eye test. Watching him move yesterday, he was laboring a little bit. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so looks like post-bye being the soonest possible return for Micah Parsons. Keep an eye on that. DaRon Bland.
Oh.
You asked me a question a couple days ago.
I did. What was that question,
That
Patrick?
question was, how would I feel if DaRon Bland was a full participant on
Keep going.
If DaRon Bland was a full participant in Wednesday's practice, and I said I would feel better because that would serve as an indicator, but I would need to see, what did I say? I said Thursday. I said Thursday is the key marker for me because that's the full practice, the full workload, 2 hours with the first team. How would he come out of that? Full participant, and spoke with him in the locker room yesterday. He said he feels great. He said he can't wait to get back. All the right things, all the good things. So we might actually see for the first time with all three as starters, Trayvon Diggs, DaRon Bland, and Jordan Lewis on the field, maybe as early as this Sunday against the Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
So great news there.
I love it.
Yeah, why are you making that face, Isaiah?
Are you worried?
No,
What's wrong?
nothing. Not worried at all. I'm looking forward to it. I want
Are
to see
you?
it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I can't get
Nah.
overly excited about it until I see it.
No,
I can get
when-
really excited about this.
When
I know Isaiah too well for him to be like,
when he starts going up octaves and he starts climbing the ladder here, he's like, I want to see it.
Say with the chest, man.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
What's on your
I
mind?
look forward to seeing it.
No.
You said you hold.
This is so lame.
You holding
I have
cards.
nothing.
You're holding back.
Nothing.
Let me remind you, it is not Monday.
Nope.
It is not Tuesday.
No, it's not.
It is not Wednesday, my friend.
Talk to him.
Last I checked, it ain't Thursday either.
What is it?
You know what day it is?
No.
Say it with your freaking chest. Friday,
Let's
buddy.
go.
Please just let it open. Let it
I have
fly.
nothing. I am looking forward to seeing these guys on the
Okay,
field together.
all right.
That's all.
All right.
I am genuinely excited to see him, but I don't want to get overly excited.
There
Get a load
it
of
is.
this
There's
guy.
a little bit of it at the end.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to get overly excited.
To that point, I'll say this. I did ask DaRon specifically about rust, how he managed rust, and because he almost had an interception in his first practice back on Wednesday against Dak Prescott in the first teamers. Thursday, talked to DaRon, talked to Jordan, talked to Dak Prescott himself. Dak Prescott said DaRon looks great. But I did ask DaRon, I said, what's the rust management situation? Do you feel like it's going to take a game or two, a rep or two, or do you feel like there is any rust at all? And he was like, yeah, obviously there's going to be rust. I've been away for so long. He said it felt like he's been away for a whole year because he's been kind of champing at the bit to get back. So, yeah, first couple reps or so, if he happens to play against Detroit, or even if it's against San Francisco, his first couple reps or so, he's going to have some rust to knock off. But based on how he's trending, I don't know. I don't think that it's going to take long for him to get back to prime form because it wasn't a devastating injury. Right? It's not like it's something like Trayvon Diggs is having to climb back from, who is playing well quickly after his injury, or what Jordan Lewis had to climb back from and had a slow start. I mean, it's a minor foot stress fracture that they surgically repaired. Man, come on, man.
I'm not here for the negativity. I'm not here for it. You eat your turkey bacon and you enjoy it, buddy. All right?
I have said nothing here.
Eat your oats.
And yet you said a lot.
I've said nothing.
It's the smug response.
Do you
for
think
me.
I think it's because he has on Lions colors right now.
Oh, don't do that.
It is
What are we
true.
doing?
It's like very.
That was
very
that was very
Lions.
purposeful.
Yeah,
Wow.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, come on. That's the new edition helmet. Right there.
Bobby Brown.
Sorry, guys.
Ralph Tresvant.
So is your? I don't even want to say lack of excitement. Let's say your lack of excitement.
Tentative.
Yeah, your tentative excitement. Is that based off of rust, or is it based off of how quickly he worked back from an injury?
I'm always concerned with feet,
Okay.
and not the Rex Ryan version.
Even if you were, man, it's 2024. You know,
No judgment?
Yeah,
judgment
say it with
here.
your chest, buddy.
Say it with your chest.
say it with your feet, buddy.
Hey,
This is not talking toes.
just say it. Sometimes you got to toe the line.
This is slowly this is going to be a not family show very, very quickly.
I'm always concerned about guys coming off of foot injuries. I mean, mainly because of my experience with foot injury, right? Yeah. You talk about my experience. I've had too many injuries. The foot sucks. You know, it was my concern about in regards to Jay Lou. You know, when Jay Lou came, but Jay Lou debunked all that, right? And he came back as a complete dog last year. So I'm hoping for the same. But again, I'm optimistic. I am optimistic, but I'm not going to just say, okay, he's back, baby.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I know, but I'm saying, but people, it's easy to trend in that direction.
Yeah.
Right. When you start talking about having all 3 of your guys back, and it's huge. Even if he's not 100%, it's still huge. Right. You go out there, you get him a handful of reps, and you let him get some confidence, let him know where he's at, and then go into the bye week, build confidence in practice, and then he's able to come back San Fran and boom, hit it full-fledged. That's probably the game plan if I'm the coaches.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm always going to be a little bit reserved when it comes from the guys' feet. Knees are okay, cool, yeah, but feet, there's just so much that goes on with especially from a defensive back perspective, right? The pushing, the planting, the cutting, the getting out of your break, the accelerating, all those things are very strenuous on that particular body
all
part.
the things.
I was asked the question yesterday on the Fan KNC Masterpiece. I was doing the radio hit there, and they asked, how much can that help a locker room, having your guy like DaRon Bland, an all-pro, a well-respected player in the locker room? How does that change your mindset from a team standpoint? Yeah. And I think you could probably speak to that more than anybody, being in an NFL locker room, having guys leave and then come back, because it's a completely different schedule and mindset when you are rehabbing, when you are in the injured group, in the injured reserve. Because when you come back, it's almost like getting that reinforcement back, whether you're full strength or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just from a confidence standpoint, from a team. I mean, you have your guy out there, and even though your guy might not be 100%, you know that he's going to get there, right? So you have this vision of what he's been to your team, and you're holding on to that in anticipation of him getting back to that, right? And you're just excited about the potential of that happening, right? I mean, we haven't seen these 3 on the field together hardly at all. So
not as starters.
Yeah. So everybody looks forward to that. And when you can go out there as a front 7 of the Dallas Cowboys, and you could look to each side and know that these guys can cover anybody that steps on the field, that is a huge vote of confidence. It makes you want to get to the quarterback even faster. From the offensive perspective, you could take a little bit more risk, because these guys might be able to bail you out when it comes to coverage, right? There's not as many gaps. There's not as many holes to fill defensively. So, and then Coach Zimmer, what does that do for him? I'm looking forward to seeing how he may or may not change his defensive scheme based upon his ability to now cover guys all the way across the field instead of just out of 2 or 3 spots.
And we haven't seen DaRon Bland in Mike Zimmer's scheme at all. I mean, that's also a big step that he needs to take. At least for me, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that regardless of how many snaps he has, I would hope that he doesn't play the whole game. If in fact he is active. We talked about a snap count earlier in the week, and to me, obviously that's the way to go. And then you have a whole bye week if things don't go well. If he doesn't respond very well, you have a whole bye week for him to get right and resume the rest of the season. But he hasn't been active for 6 weeks, or going on 7 weeks probably.
7 weeks, yeah.
To me, it's par for the course of what they said after the announcement happened that he was injured. I'm not concerned necessarily with him taking snaps if they feel that is best for the team and best for him. If he feels like, yeah, I'm ready, I feel great, ready to do this, absolutely put him out there.
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier in the week, and I know Kyle and I are on the same page as far as, 15 to 20 reps, get him in, get his feet wet again, and then get him out.
That's exactly it.
And then get him out. And then what will help with that is the fact that Kalen Carson, talk about the injury report, Kalen Carson has been a full participant in both practices this week. So he's trending towards returning after missing the last 2 games with that shoulder injury.
You have 4.
Talk about 5.
4 bona fide guys. I'll say 3. Let me get crazy. You got 3 what I consider to be shut down-ish type corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because people really,
incredible.
People really need to put some respect on J. Lou.
Please,
absolutely.
Please, y'all.
Listen, I'm tired of doing it. Go ahead. Yeah, you do it this time.
You
do it this time.
But not even just from the.
Just see Patrick Walker's Twitter account, and you're at Voice of the Star, and you'll see it plenty.
Yeah, your turn. Go for it.
I hope that he gets his bag one day. You know, like he deserves his bag as well.
Agreed.
Because he's been that consistent player for this organization. It's been overlooked in terms of value.
No matter who the coordinator's been.
Correct. So J. Lou, obviously on the slot. DaRon Bland, once he's 100% healthy, and then Trayvon, obviously on the outside. Those three, being able to go out there and shut down any, not shut down, but be able to match up really well against any 11 personnel grouping that steps on the field. And then if they want to come out with 4 wide, you can bring in Kalen Carson, right? Mr. 5-point harness himself. And then if they want to go empty, instead of having to bring down another safety, right, you can go ahead and go freaking dime and go out there and bring in A.O.
Amani, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
you got to say his last name.
No, A.O. So,
A.O.
Okay, so I mean, that's a huge advantage for these guys and confidence booster. And again, as a defensive lineman, especially a backup defensive lineman that, you know, that hasn't had a ton of reps in terms of rushing the quarterback in actual NFL games, so like we're going to be seeing here in the coming weeks, honestly.
Yep.
That's huge to be able to look at there and say, okay, cool. These guys got me. Right, I can work. I can work. Right, I can do what I need to do up front to try to get home because if they can't take the risk, they can't take the risk.
And that helps your defensive line out in a big way. A defensive line that needs that help.
Yes.
The fact that you can rely on the coverage, possibly for coverage sacks, just in general. You know what I mean? If the quarterback doesn't have anywhere to throw it, he's going to escape the pocket, and that gives the defensive line enough chances to get to him. I mean, I'm really excited at the opportunity that having DaRon Bland in the game at all brings you. No matter how many snaps it is.
It goes back to what Al Harris said, I want to say earlier this offseason, when thinking about the prospect of finally having Trayvon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, and DaRon Bland on the field at the same time, he said you got to throw the ball somewhere.
You can't avoid Trayvon
You can't
anymore.
avoid Trayvon because DaRon's over there. You can't avoid DaRon because Trayvon's over there. You want to try to avoid both and throw up the middle and to the slot? Okay, good luck with that. You got J. Lou sitting there waiting for you. You got Apps. I'm talking about a whole Braun breaker, baby. Talking about a whole Braun breaker.
We got dogs in the house.
So as soon as these guys get on the field together, it's going to be a massive, massive morale boost for that secondary, and especially in a situation where we talked about you're dealing with some linebacker depth right now, possibly. You're most certainly dealing with some defensive in-depth, knowing that you might not be able to, you're going to try your best. You're going to leave it all on the field and try to get your pressure against the quarterback, right? You're going to try to, do your run defense and things like that and your run fits. But worst case scenario, you know that if your pass rush cannot get home, man, you got arguably the best cornerback trio in the entire league back there just waiting for the ball to get thrown. So that in and of itself's got to give Mike Zimmer the ear-to-ear grin.
And you said that you got to throw it somewhere unless they don't. You know what I mean?
And then they just keep running.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
And the Lions can do it. Just don't let them do it.
Yes.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I was about to say,
without DeMarcus and Micah.
We solved it. We're good.
Yeah. Listen.
Just don't let them run the ball.
We'll see you next week.
Tyrus, Carl, Chauncey.
Tyrus.
Do everything you did last week, just do it again. That's all. Just rinse and repeat. Just do it again.
Tyrus sweet, man.
Just do it
I'm ready
again.
to see it.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
He's done a good job.
That guy's whole grain
like
is what that guy is.
Whole grain wheat.
Yeah.
Like it.
I had to do it.
All right. When we come back, we've got High Five coming out today here on DallasCowboys.com. It's going to be rank your 5 best individual matchups or individual performances so far through the first 5 games. So who has had the best performance in that game, specifically over the last 5 games? We'll have more Talking Cowboys right after this. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. What was in your oats this morning, Isaiah? What you got in there?
A little brown sugar and some craisins.
Oh, the craisins, not the craisins.
You ever do protein powder in your oatmeal?
No.
You don't do that?
I like it.
My wife does that.
I like it.
It's a good combo.
That's my wife's thing.
It's a good combo.
It's not my thing.
Wait, why would you do that
shake,
early?
Gotta go to shake.
Why would you do that early in the morning? Just extra
Protein?
way to put protein in there?
Yeah, protein's good.
Yeah, start your day
always.
off with protein.
Oh, I know, but like I feel like an oatmeal container is not very big. So if you put like a scoop of of protein in there, then you're like,
I mean, it's a little chalky, but
do you want any? Do you want any? Yeah, the chalkiness.
You know,
I hate that chalkiness.
I love the chalkiness.
Oh,
I don't
do
know
you?
why.
They have protein Quaker Oats too.
Do they?
Yeah, they have protein versions of
You
the
can get
packs.
it on your Quaker code.
Yeah.
Sick.
Buy your oats from the internet.
Literally.
Sick.
Literally, because you will
like
be
20
sick.
grams or something like that. It's good.
I love it. All right.
That's my protein shake every morning. A good 48 grams of protein. 2 scoops.
48.
That's where you get that.
Yeah, 2 scoops and 16 ounces of water.
That boy's strong.
Shake it up.
I'll stick to my chocolate.
How'd you do it?
Huh?
How'd you do it?
It's 16 ounces of water. 2 scoops. And then shake it up.
Oh,
He tried to shake weight me.
He tried to.
Yeah, nah.
I'm already planning on clipping that one.
I'm here.
All right.
Something's afoot.
If you want to be a part of our Pick'em segment coming up later in the show, give us a call, 888-855-2297. 888-855-2297. I'll remind you at the end of this segment. High five, everybody.
bam!
That is our Friday segment now. Second segment, it's a piece that I'll put out on DallasCowboys.com on Fridays going into the matchup every week and kind of outlining a rankum of sorts where it's a top 5 of this particular topic. And this week's topic centers around the best performances in game so far for the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. So individual performances. I thought initially, I was like, I may try and do something around ranking the 5 games and how the Cowboys as a team have performed, but I think that's pretty easy. It's Pittsburgh, New York, Cleveland, Baltimore, and New Orleans. And like even after that, it may be like 1 or 2 mixes and matches. But I was like, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go funnel this thing down a little bit. Best individual performances we've seen from Cowboys players so far this season. And there's actually a point at the end of all of this as well. So, Patrick, I'll start with you. Out of all the guys that have made an impact, which one's your favorite so far?
Out of all of the guys that have made an impact
in a particular game,
you know, this isn't even recency bias. When you consider all the adversity that they had to face and where they were playing and the legacy of the 2 franchises, give me Jalen Tolbert against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nice.
You know, you lose Brandon Cooks, and this is a situation that's tailor-made for Jalen Tolbert to step up and prove himself or forever be relegated to the conversation of can he do it. right? Now we know he can do it, so that's behind him. And then you look at just his journey up to that point and how the game ended with it being Jalen Tolbert who capped it off with the go-ahead touchdown on top of the career day that he had with the big plays that he was making. So for me, it's Jalen Tolbert. Shouts out to the South Alabama kid.
Bang.
Just keep going, man. Keep cooking.
I like that. 10 targets, 7 receptions, 87 yards, but most importantly, the big one right at the end.
And they don't win that game. Touchdown notwithstanding, they also don't win that game if he doesn't deliver in, like deep down the left side. I mean, he was there, man. He was there. Absolutely. JT.
Okay.
JT money.
What you got?
I want to counter that with somebody else who had 87 yards and a touchdown in that game.
Ooh, who was it?
His name is Rico.
Where's the music?
Where's the
Beamer? What
the music was happening?
Oh, Beamer.
One more time. His name is Rico.
There it is. Yay, there we go.
The Dallas Cowboys
Beamer.
stuck with the run. 20 times they handed him the ball.
I hope he has another big game this week.
87 yards on the ground. Then he decided to line up at receiver, route up some cornerbacks.
No big deal.
No biggie. Run a nice little stick corner route for a tutty. 2 receptions, 27 yards and a touchdown. Okay, so same amount of yards. Okay, in terms of effective. Actually, he had more. He had over 100 scrimmage yards.
Correct. Yeah, he did. And the receiving touchdown.
And a receiving touchdown.
114. Yeah.
So I raise your Tolbert. I acknowledge it, but then I raise him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like
Is that
that.
what we're doing?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
If we're talking individual performances,
yes,
I got to give some love and some flowers to a guy that has gotten a lot of flack since he was drafted 27th overall in the 2023 NFL Draft. I'm going to give Mozzie Smith some love.
I like it.
For his game against the New York Giants.
That's a good one.
In New York, where he was graded an 88.4 Pro Football Focus grade, which I think is astounding for a guy that has had a lot of issues and just so much spotlight on him and criticism and just like, where's his weight at? Like, I feel him. It's like my mom whenever I was growing up. It's like, why do you weigh so much or so little? You know what I mean? So... bringing back some trauma here, all right?
Emotional.
We need to
emotional damage, all right? Shouts to my mom.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
But shouts to Mozzie Smith.
Milk was a bitch.
It was a bad choice. Hey, kickbacks.
For his performance against the New York Giants, he was an absolute run stuffer. It was impressive to see. It felt like, oh my God, he got it. He got it. He's in there. He's aggressive. He's doing his thing. He looked like he did in Michigan. So to me, that was the performance. One of my favorite performances of the year. I don't know that he does that quite again, but I really hope so. I really hope he repeats that performance over and over and over.
That game, or for him specifically, was so crucial. And he didn't play poorly this past weekend against Pittsburgh.
No, not at all.
I didn't think he played as well. He wasn't as dominant on the interior, but he did a good job at times. I think that was important for his confidence. It was important for the coaching staff's confidence in him.
Yeah.
And for that entire defensive tackle room. So that wasn't originally on my 5. I may have to go and try and fit that in there somehow because that's a great one. Really is. I'll go to the defensive line as well, though. I'll go to the D line.
Wow, I can't believe we're doing this.
Yeah. How about Micah Parsons in week 1 against Cleveland? Okay. But here's the thing about it is I'm trying to decide who had the better performance. Micah Parsons, who had his big-time sack, he had 11 pressures. He was all in the backfield for that Cleveland bunch, and Deshaun Watson had nowhere to go with it. He was the game wrecker himself, so I kind of had him tabbed as the number 1 guy. But Eric Kendricks was the first player the second player in franchise history to have 2 sacks and an interception in the same game. And he did so in his debut as a Dallas Cowboy with 9 tackles tied for the team lead. DeMarvion Overshown was phenomenal in that game. Of course, he had the very memorable sack against the Cleveland Browns. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, in his first game of the season, had 2 sacks as well. So it was just an all-around defensive showcase in that matchup. I still think it's Micah as the guy, but why do you laugh?
It was something that came in my head that would have normally came out, but
I'm glad
I kept it
to yourself. But Where would you put and rank those guys in terms of that performance?
Really coy performance by Isaiah today.
You know what?
Very, yeah.
I
don't know what's on his mind.
He just has a little secret.
Can't believe that we are leaving off Dak Prescott, who's just the third best passer in the league right now.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
You want to revise? You want to revise your? I mean, you also had a pick.
I know. I'm saying we. I said we. I was on my Jalen Smith. Okay, I said we. I said we.
Clear view.
But also, not just Dak Prescott, but also one of the top receivers in football.
I don't see that.
And we haven't had one yet.
Nope.
But I said there was a point at the end of all of this. We're naming all of these performances, and it's guys like Tolbert and Dowdle and Mozzie
and even
Smith.
Guyton in week 1.
Guyton in week 1, what he was able to do. I mean, it's all these guys. And yet we haven't mentioned Dak Prescott. I think his best performance of the year was probably week 4 against New York. In the Thursday night football game, went 22 of 27 passing, 300 yards, had it kind of taken care of in that game. But
I think it hasn't happened yet.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's
is kind of my question.
It's a good thing because it has.
You're 3-2, and your guys haven't been.
But it's 3-2, and Dak Prescott has more or less carried the offense. That's why he's ranked number 2 in passing yards, behind only Geno Smith before last night's game.
Yeah.
And almost 100 yards more than Brock Purdy before last night's game. And that is with the offense struggling. So that tells you that Dak Prescott is, although he's had some self-inflicted wounds as well, the lost sack fumble, the 2 interceptions, those things can't happen. But he's carrying. But at 3-2, he's not played his best ball yet. He's not, and that should make Cowboys fans feel great because you're above 500.
But has he played poorly?
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
He's not played poorly. He played poorly during a stretch against the Steelers. He did play poorly there.
Yeah,
right.
I'd agree with that.
But
and probably early in the year, a couple of the losses, he had some.
All things considered, he's played well.
Yeah.
Right. You don't get to rank number 2 in passing yards through the first 5 games in the NFL of all leagues unless you're playing good football. He's playing good football, all things considered. Is he playing Dak Prescott football? Not yet.
Yeah.
But I do think they're on the precipice of that happening.
And you still have a winning record with Dak Prescott not playing.
That's my point. And you still have a winning record. So when they finally get over that event horizon, which could come as early as Detroit, we'll get into gut feelings here shortly. But as soon as they get over that precipice offensively and you start seeing MVP Dak show up, that's going to be some fun football.
Yeah. What do you think? You're just sitting back eating fruit today.
I'm chilling, man. I'm on my back game today.
He's on his berries.
Dak has not played his best football. I don't think this is all on Dak. Obviously, the receivers haven't been there the way that you want to. The protection hasn't been there the way that you want to. So, yeah, the fact that it was very surprising when you look at the stat line and see that they're at the top of the league in terms of passing. And our standard, his standard, the organization standard for passing yards and passing efficiency is substantially higher than what we've seen on film this year. So it's encouraging, I guess, when you look at it in a perspective of what else is going on around the league. But in terms of the standard here, everybody has higher expectations.
And I'll also say this. We talk about it. September football is September football. But one thing Dak Prescott knows how to do is cook up in November and especially December. And if you don't believe me, I'm not even going to put it out there. If you don't believe me, Google is free. Go look at his numbers in November and December and report back.
Yeah, it's just January. That's kind of been tough.
Yeah, January's not. Yeah, I didn't say January.
That's
why are we bringing up January, man?
Because that's what matters. I mean, that's part of it. That's what matters now. You know.
So it's, to that point, it's about him figuring out how to carry it over. And right, so and we talked about this going into this season. For as much as this season might be another 12-win season, et cetera, it's always going to be that asterisk of, okay, January. What are we doing in January? Yeah. And that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, he cooks up in November, December. And I say that to say, Cowboys are above 500, hopefully 4-2 going into the bye week. And Dak hasn't played his best football yet, which means his best football is to come. And hopefully when it arrives, it transfers over to January, and the Cowboys defense can also match serve because the defense is a key reason for that draw game against the Packers in January. So defense has to show up as much as Dak Prescott has to show up in January. So, yeah. Throw it back to you, Kyle.
I agree with you.
Back to you, Kyle.
Back to you, Kyle, in the studio.
It sounds like Beamer when we come up in this next segment. He's going to give us the rundown
That's
of
my
the
line.
standings. I know. You can use it. We're coming right back to you. Don't you worry. Give us a call, 888-855-2297. If you want to be our fan representative in our Pick'em segment coming up next. Will Patrik Walker pick against the Cowboys this week? We'll see. Right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag & Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag & Turf, the official Ag & Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Glad you're with us here on this Say It With Your Chest Friday. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans, and Chris Beam is in the back with a standings update for our Pick'ems.
Hi, Isaiah.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Kyle. Thank you very much. We got Patrik is in the lead. My guy, Patrik. Kyle is in second place. Oh, excuse me. Patrik has 25 wins and 10 losses. Kyle is in second with 23 wins and 10 losses. Okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to the discrepancy in a minute, okay? Then we got third place would be your boy Josh with 22 and 10.
Josh.
Then the fans, and then Isaiah Stanback in the caboose, the back, in the very back at 21 and 11. Now, let's just say this real quick. Isaiah Stanback had a nice week last week. He went 5-1.
Let's go.
But let me ask you something.
Big time.
That's right.
You know what's coming.
Come on with it.
Okay. Patrik, what are you?
A dog.
He is a dog, and he picked a dog again last week.
Undefeated with my dog.
You know who else is a dog?
Who's it?
Isaiah Stanback is a dog.
Hey.
But he cannot pick a dog to save his life. He's more like a puppy. He is a puppy in there. He needs to pick a dog. He's been picking puppies.
What's the records without the dogs? That's what I want to know.
No.
He has it. He has it. It just doesn't matter because it's not the
Kyle.
point
It doesn't matter what the record is.
Back to you.
Thanks, Chris. He's been picking puppies. I love it.
The inflection, fantastic.
By the way, the last week's dog was Arizona.
Arizona, that's who you got, right?
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
nicely done.
Arizona and San Francisco, no less.
Very, very nice.
Go.
Chris Beam, this is starting to turn into my favorite. All right, Brian in Kansas City is our fan representative this week. Brian, how's it going? You're on Talking Cowboys.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready to represent for the fans?
Good morrow.
I just got to stay out of the cellar and beat Isaiah, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much that's what you got to do. You got to stay the course, sir. Stay the course. All right, here are your dogs this week, your potential dogs. These are teams that are at least 6-point favorites overall. Patriots versus the Texans. Are you listening, Isaiah?
I'm listening. That one doesn't require much thinking at all.
Yeah, no. Browns at Eagles. The Commanders, who are at the Ravens, and the Panthers, who are hosting the Falcons. So Patriots, Browns, Commanders, Panthers. We'll start with Isaiah on this one.
Texans?
Yeah, no, the Patriots are the potential dog playing against the Texans.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not happening. Give me Washington.
Washington over the Ravens. I was a little shocked when I saw that line as well, so I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Commanders to beat the Ravens on the road.
Yeah, that's where I am with it. Ravens got hot, but Commanders are hot. I think Washington goes in there and takes one.
Okay. Josh?
Give me the Browns.
Wow, to beat the Eagles.
That's a mega dog.
That's not a big deal.
Well, it's true.
It's the Eagles.
He's not
It
wrong.
is
He's not wrong.
All right. What do you think out there in Kansas City, Brian?
I'm going with Jaden Daniel and the Commanders.
Yeah, that's a popular pick this week. I think it's the first time we've had almost a consensus. So thank you, Josh, for saving us all on this one.
Yeah, I think they're just
appreciate
riding my coattails now, Beamer.
Yeah, that might be what it is. All right, Jags at Bears. Even though you picked them third out of everybody. Jags at Bears this week. Can Caleb Williams and company keep the Jags down while they are down? Brian, what do you think?
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
What are you thinking, Zay?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Jags are not looking like a good football team.
Nope.
Shockingly enough, I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chicago Calebs.
You know what? It's about time for them to turn things around in Jacksonville. I think Doug Peterson has them ready to rock.
Good luck with that.
Give me Jacksonville to win it in a weird game. All right. Good luck with that.
Kyle went 2-4 last week, just letting you guys know.
Oh, golly. Don't tell me that. Colts at Texans. Pat?
Texans.
Yeah, Texans. Easy.
Okay.
I don't know about easy.
Texans.
Oh, wait. I said Colts at Texans. Wait a second. That's not right.
No, you said Patriots
Colts at Titans.
Sorry,
I misspoke. Sorry.
Colts.
Okay, Colts redoing it, Pat.
Give
Colts
me a
at
second.
Titans.
Circle around. Circle back to me.
Okay. What do you think?
Give me Titans.
Titans at home. I'm going to take the Colts here on the road.
I'm with Isaiah. I'm going Titans on this one.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go Titans too.
I'm going with the Titans. All right, Bucks at Saints, a little divisional matchup. Saints without their quarterback, but Tampa Bay on the road against that defense. You look excited to pick this one. I'll let you start.
Give me the Buck Nasties.
Take me to Tampa. They're representing this week. Give me Tampa Bay to get it done.
I'm all about the Baker. Give me Baker Mayfield on the books.
Okay.
Give me the fighting Baker Mayfields.
There you go. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going Bucks.
Going with the Bucks. Steelers at Raiders. Brian, we'll let you start on this one.
The Steel Curtain.
Steel Curtain. This is only a 3-point line here. Don't
I what you're saying. Steelers are the better team, and they're pissed off because of how that game went last week. So I think they beat the brakes off the Raiders. I don't care about that 3-point.
I was thinking about picking the Steelers this week, but I'm going to pick the Raiders. I think they're in a weird spot too, where they just changed their quarterback. They're looking to impress. Give me the Raiders to win it at home.
Zero faith in the Raiders. Zero.
Yeah.
If there was a such thing as -0, I'd have -0.
Yeah.
Give me Russell Wilson.
Is he starting this week?
Maybe.
Well, he has been ramping up in practice, so that would just make me feel that much better.
Take the money. Give me the baby.
I don't care. Either way, Raiders win it this week. What do you think?
I'm going with the Steelers. With Steelers.
Bills at Jets. New head coach leading the Jets this week. Bills, who have been up and down, either the best team in football or seemingly like the worst team in football. I'm going to take the Bills. Bills are going to get it done on the road.
Yeah, it's a tough one just by virtue of the coaching change. Teams tend to kind of play up for the next couple games after that. But I think the defense takes a step back without Salah on the sideline. Yeah. So, and the Bills need to get off this 2-game slide. So, yeah, I think Josh Allen and the Bills take this.
Aaron Rodgers is washed, and
whoa,
don't want to see him succeed in any form or fashion. I'm going with the Bills, and yeah,
he ain't lying.
He washed.
I love JU. Jeff Ulbrich, that is. That's my old coach. He is a good dude. He's a heck of a coach. There will be no falling off on the sideline, but they will not have enough firepower to beat the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately.
Okay. So there will be a fall off on the sideline.
No, there will not.
You said they're going to lose.
They don't have the talent.
That boy is good.
To beat the Buffalo Bills.
All right, that's the Monday night matchup. Brian, what do you think?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bars.
I like it. All right. Here's the one we've been waiting for since week 17 of 2023. It was a 1-point instant classic, controversial, no call, whatever you want to call it, with Dan Campbell. The Fighting Lions coming into AT&T Stadium again with revenge on the mind, looking for their first win over Dallas since 2013. They're 3-1. Dallas is 3-2. Only one team can get their fourth win of the 2024 season. Brian, what do you think on this one?
This is going to be a tight one. Give me Cowboys. Okay.
Okay, you're going to have to say your score again, but we heard it in an emphatic Cowboys fashion.
30-28 Cowboys.
30-28. Brian, appreciate you listening. Appreciate you giving us a call. Thanks for representing the fans so well this week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Have a good weekend, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, Brian. Great call. Short,
absolutely.
to the point, gets it done.
Absolutely.
Gets it done. All right, boys, what do you think, Pat?
You know, Brian's going to love this, and I have receipts for this because earlier this morning and earlier this week, I gave a gut feeling. And my gut feeling was that the Cowboys offense comes alive, especially against the secondary that we talked about against the Detroit Lions. I think it can be lunch meat. Cowboys without a pass rush, it's going to be difficult, even if DaRon Bland is on the field in that secondary. So, nail biter to the wire. Cowboys take it 30-27.
30-27.
I'm right there with you, Brian. So when he said 30-28, I was like, ooh,
yeah,
somebody's been listening.
Somebody's been watching.
30-27 Cowboys take this one.
I'll go next. I think it's going to be similar. I think it's a high-scoring affair. Yep. I think Dallas has a good offensive game. I think CeeDee Lamb has some yardage. I think Jake Ferguson has some yardage. And I think Dak Prescott plays pretty good football. I'm worried about this defense against the weapons, though. Against a dual-headed backfield with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, they haven't been able to stop teams that want to run the football and continuously run the football. That's what Detroit's going to do. And then when they decide not to do that, then play action is available, and you've got some weapons on the outside. And in terms of your tight end, their wide receiver, their quarterback, who did not have an incompletion since week 3. He hasn't had an incompletion since week 3. I think it's a close game, but I think Dallas loses at home. 38-31 is my final score.
So hard for me to wrap my head around them dropping the fourth straight at AT&T Stadium.
And I hope I'm wrong.
I think they just find a freaking way. And I don't know what that way might be other than scoring the 30 points. But, yeah, I can't. Mm-hmm.
I picked them to lose last week, too, against Pittsburgh on the road. I just thought it was kind of a weird thing. I think I would have flip-flopped it if I would have known they would have beaten Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have lost to Pittsburgh, I think they do beat Detroit just out of pure desperation. But I think either way they were going to turn out at 3-3. And since they snuck that one out last week, I don't know.
But I think the fashion in which they beat Pittsburgh gives them confidence, saying, "Yeah, we're undermanned, but we can get this done. We can get this done, and we have to get it done." McCarthy talked about it. Dak talked about it proactively. They were like, "We can't lose another one at home."
Agreed.
So yeah.
They got such a tough home slate. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy to me.
All right, Josh.
You want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Exactly, like Bret Hart said.
Yep.
All right, so going into this game, I said, going after the Ravens game, I said, if you lose any of the next 3 games, I'm going to hit the panic button.
Mm-hmm.
I think you escaped with a win in Pittsburgh. You did not play well.
Mm-hmm.
You did not play well.
Agreed.
It was really, really ugly. It was nasty. Granted, you had the delay. I don't think this team is ready to take that next step. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose similar to a Ravens loss, where it's it's going to happen early and often. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run. I mean, if I were the fighting Dan Campbell's, just run the football. Just run the football. I feel like Goff is going to throw less than 14 passes. He's 14 attempts, and they're just going to run the football down your throat.
Yeah, see, that scares me.
And we're going to fight at the end, and it will not be enough. I'm thinking And this is unfortunate, but I think it is a beating that gets you back on track going into San Francisco.
Okay.
But like I said, the panic button will be hit at that point for me. Anyways, it's Cowboys 20-20 and the Lions 34.
Okay, 34-20.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
Are you sorry?
I am.
Starting this week off, I strongly felt like Detroit was going to just dog walk Dallas. I watched a lot of film, did a lot of studies, looked at a lot of analytics, went back, did more film study. I felt like Dallas has a much better chance against this Detroit team. I feel like Dallas could throw the ball all over this Detroit team. But I also feel as if Dallas is missing some key guys in terms of heart and soul of the defense that can have a positive effect against this onslaught, whether it's pass or run, because it really doesn't matter which they decide to approach you with. We just assume it's going to be the run. So I don't know. I don't. My gut says Dallas gets it out of there, but my wisdom says
it's just gut feeling.
Yeah,
it's not wisdom feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with guts is sometimes
they bubble.
Sometimes they bubble. So I'm not really sure if you're hungry or if you got to go sit down somewhere. You just never know. So I'm gonna not trust my gut on this one. I'm gonna go with my strategy and my analytics, and I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions 31-28. I think they get up early. I think they hold the lead, and I think Dallas tries to come back like they did a couple weeks back.
I'll stand on my island.
That's okay.
I'll stand on.
You were there with Brian and
Brian and I,
Kansas City,
right?
Yeah,
Brian and I.
There you go. All right, that does it for us. For Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Patrik No C Walker, we've got Chris Beam. Watch Cowboys pregame live 2 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. Watch everything on DallasCowboys.com that you possibly can. We will have you ready to rock back on Monday. Go Cowboys against the Lions. See you next week on more Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?